Welcome this morning. This is Cynthia Blair. Basically, I'm going to cover repairs to jewelry. My sister had a beautiful necklace. Unfortunately, it broke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair this section right here. Now, the thing of it is that I already have some of these. There we go. You should be able to see them. They're so tiny. I have these little circles that I got a long time ago. Now, as we go through these, there may seem a lot of stuff that looks like it's expensive, or that there's a lot of it, and you might think that that's something that you can't come up with all this stuff at the same time, especially after COVID. Let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff that you want to do that you may not have the money to, or the know where the things are anymore. Some of them are closed. But what the deal is each of the things that you're going to be seeing, I bought a little at a time. And you can do that as well. Now, I'm going to show you those, and then I'm going to show you some little earrings that I'm going to be making for children. I have a few of these, and I'm going to be working with those. I have some pieces of jewelry I'm putting together that I will show you. Looks like right there. Okay, and then here's another piece. I had some that fell off a minute ago, so those may be a little harder to see. But anyway, I'll put them together and show you a little bit about it. If you like jewelry making, or you have a present you want to make for Christmas, this works really, really good. Let me put these back over here so they're out of the way. But I had these little rings, I had these little earring things. Actually, I started doing this over a year ago, so I have accumulated things over the years. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at this necklace, and it came with some earrings, and she hasn't even had a chance to wear it yet. And I'm going to take this part for the earrings off of the card and off of the necklace before I start working with it, so it's not quite so much of an issue. Let's see. Let's go this way. This may take me a little bit of time to get all this stuff together. And let me put that over there for the moment. And I got a light and a magnifying mirror here, and I have some extra light, so you can get one of those head things that have the magnifying glass and the lights on them and that sort of thing. But for today, I'm going to be trying to look into this mirror so that I can see things. First, I'll show it to you, and then I'll look at it and see what I can do. Like for this one, as you can tell, it had a hole here for a little loop. Now, for most of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep myself out of the picture. A couple of reasons for that. One of which is that I have a face for radio instead of video. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some different tools that I'm going to be using, and then we'll get started into the actual repair work. Okay, I have a few tools, as you can see over here up in this area. What I have is, this one's kind of a wire cutter, and this one is, hang on if I can pick it up. This one's a crimping tool. You see how it has that little curvature in the bottom part there? That one is so that I can do the rings and crunch things and things like that. And then this is another crimping tool. I think this is actually more of an electrical crimping tool, but sometimes you work with the tools that you can. This one helps to do like fish wire so it crimps over and you can roll things on it. This one kind of smushes things. Let's see if you can see that there. Okay, kind of like putting a flat surface together. This one has basically needle nose pliers type thing. Scissors. I've got a tweezer thing over here. I think that's pretty much, oh, and this thing. This is another one of the tools that you curl things around with. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look at this necklace because it has a lot of dangling wires or chains. And I want to make sure that when I put it together that I don't have part of the chain over on one side and part of the chain on the other side. Now, what I will do is I will check it out under the lights in the magnifying glass. But what that will do is I will get in the way of what I'm filming so that you can't see it while I'm looking at it. When I put it together, I'll show you. But for right now, I'm going to take a pause and make sure the chains lay right. Scoot this back just a touch. Alright. And this is why I don't back up trucks. It's because I'm directionally challenged. I can get lost in a bathtub. But anyway. Okay, so what we have here, once we get the chains out of the way so we can see them, and so that somebody doesn't walk up to her and go, "Hey, did you know that's twisted?" You know. Anyway. So what we have here is there's a little hook on here. You can't hardly see it because of the denim and my hand being in the way. It's right on this end. And then on this end there's some little circles. Those are the kind of circles that I got. I think what we're going to use is this size. And let me get it into the picture better. Of course that's really tiny, 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 tiny. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this circle, put it through that loop, hook it to this circle here, and then join these back together. It shouldn't take very long. It was just I wanted to show somebody what it looked like. And let's see. First, I'm going to take this tool and hopefully my head won't get in the way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these, stick them through the little loop, and you can see that little opening there. Maybe. I'm going to open it up just a little bit more. Let me scoot that around there. And then I'm going to open the bottom of this thing so it will take the opening a little bit rounder there. Okay. And I'm going to use this one and open it up just a touch. So you see that opening? I'm not sure if you can see it in the magnifying glass or not. But I've opened this up just a touch more. Take it off of there. And what I'm going to do is, first, scoop this out of the way a bit. And I'm going to take this end here and hook it through that little circle that you couldn't see for the denim. And then I'm going to take this little circle and I'm going to put it through this side of the, well, let me turn it a tiny bit so I can see what I'm doing, and then put that in there. Okay. Now some of this is kind of fine work. If my head gets in the way, I do apologize, but okay, I've got that part in. Well, came out again. Alright. Now, where did that little thingy go? Okay. Little tool. I'm going to hold it still right there while I get this one hooked in there. Okay, now I have both pieces hooked in there, and I'm going to... Okay. Now the one that was the flat thing, here we go. This one's the part that looks like a needle nose pliers like you'd use out in the shop. And if for some reason you don't have any and you've borrowed either your husband's or your son's or yours for something else you're working in the wood shop with, okay, I'm going to hold this up here. Actually, I think I'm going to do this with two of them. And you'll find that you'll get used to different tools, and you will basically, when you're doing jewelry repair, you're not always positive that these will be the ones you'll need to work with, but I'm going to hold on to it with that, and then, I don't know if you can see it because I always move out of the way, I'm going to take this and I've got that held up, but what I'm trying to do is take that circle and pinch it together. Now, a lot of times this is a lot easier if you don't have to do it like 400 times. No. Okay. I have it held like that at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like 400 times is what I'm going to do. But let's get the flat one. I know the flat one is the one I really need, but okay, now I got it to where I can see it. And then I'm going to pinch these closed. Okay, I don't know if you can see it there, but then, okay, I've got it closed, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ring and straighten it so it's not really an overlap. And I'm opening it and flattening it. Okay. We're going to squish this together to make sure it's not just loose and going to fall off again. Okay. And I'm pinching, I'm pinching. I'm going to take this one. And a lot of jewelry repair and use of the tools really kind of depends on what feels good in your hands. Not everybody has the same hands. Not everybody has exactly the same tools. But what I'm trying to do here is make sure that this doesn't come back out again. Okay. In theory, we have the necklace back together again, and the necklace pieces, the chain hangs better, and then you see this side and this side, and this is an asymmetrical necklace, and between it and the earrings, they will make a really pretty necklace and earrings for her. Now, what I'm going to do for this is that one, strangely enough, is completely fixed. And I'll take that back over to her later. Okay, now I'm going to move the little rings out of the way. Okay, now over here to the side, move that out of the way a minute, I have some yellow ponies, I have some foxes, I have some little teddy bears, I have some these kind of teddy bears and those kind of teddy bears, and some owls. Let's see, these are pink ponies, some little squirrels, some little hedgehogs, and some little deer. Now, the way I got these is that I got a button set for little kids. You see those on the back? And these are the ones for the pony. I'm going to do the pony ones for right now. I think I forgot to get out the solid backs for them. Hang on 1 minute, because I always have to move this to look at them. Okay, now, like I said, I've been collecting things all year, and that includes little boxes to keep the things in so I don't have them scattered everywhere. I do tend to do that. Now, I do have little things that look like little doggy feet and all kinds of stuff, but what I'm going to look for today for this minute is, this is a clip-on. Sometimes little girls have pierced ears, but sometimes they need clip-ons because they haven't had their ears pierced, or it's not done for them, or whatever. If you have, let me see, here's a little bit different kind. If you have the stud backs, you can use those. Most of the time I either use this kind, or if I'm doing a stud back, what I usually do is I do the fish hooks. Like here's one of the ones I did with Infinity. Let's see. Yeah, I got one here. Matches it with Infinity. And here's some. And basically these are just charms that I put a lobster claw to. And it has like a doggy on a paw on the front. It says, "The road to my heart is paved with paw prints." These I got at the, I think I found them at Cracker Barrel. But it has the little heart lobster claws, and I hooked it to the ring, and then I hooked a fish hook to it. So I do have different ones. I think this one I put somewhere else. I was showing it to somebody and I didn't put it back where it went. And then I have another paw print and a pair of cowboy boots. I think I'm going to just make those into necklaces if I only have a single one, if I don't find the match for it soon. They don't always have matches when I buy them. Sometimes I see one I think it's really cute and it doesn't have a match yet. So, and then we have some little things from charms and all kinds of things. So you can make these with all kinds of different motifs. Like here's one for starfish. But anyway, that's just to show you have some choices. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to find a place to put it so that I'm not knocking it off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with the little purple ponies. Okay, now for this one, for this hat trick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to pick up the little pony things and scoot the rest of this out of the way for the moment. And I have here a little piece of sponge thingy. Basically, this is so that when I want things not to crawl away and fall off the edge of the mat, this keeps them from rolling because it keeps them steady. Okay, and there's the two backs and the two ponies, and I have a hot glue gun. Now, two things about the hot glue gun. I have a little like wire thing on the front here so it keeps it up off the table, and it doesn't have a switch to turn it on or off. It just plugs in, and once it plugs in, it starts to heat up. You don't want to burn yourself or anything like that. You don't want it to sit on the table so that you end up with hot glue everywhere. So what I do is I kind of prop it like that, and then it heats up while I'm working on this part. Okay, let's see if we can see this good stuff closer. And there. Okay. Now, the part that I'm going to use is, remember when I said I had some wire nippers? Because these started out as buttons, there's a little critter on the back. The little round part that the button was to sew onto the dress or clothes or whatever it is that they were working with. And I'm going to take the wire snippers and snip that part off, because I want it to sit flat for that back of the earring, since I'm making the, that takes it a little while. And then you hear it snipping. Okay, now that snipped off, let's make sure it's not going to stab anybody. Hopefully most of this will be in the earring part. Tiny, go in there. I have 4 dogs. I have 3 little ones and a big one. Okay, that gets that. I may have to file it down in a little bit. Tiny. Okay, and then we're going to get the squishier one. But be careful you don't damage the pony. Okay, there's that. Now let's do the other one. She wants me to show her what I'm doing. Just a second, I'll put her in the bedroom. Okay, there's the both of the backs. And as we see over here, it's starting to drip under the hot glue gun. So I put a little piece of a napkin under it. Of course, the napkin will probably get hot, but still. Okay, so now feel at the backs and make sure that it's not going to stab somebody. And let's see if there's any other thing. I think it's going to be, I'm gonna take a little bit more of that off of there. What I'm doing is holding on to it and twisting it so it'll come off. Problem is when I hold it for y'all to see, I don't always get to see myself, and I need to make sure these pieces come off of there. There we go. Hopefully y'all can see and I can see without it. Just be really careful with the bottom part. So you want this part off, but you don't want to break any of the little pony. And if you do break the pony, then what you'll have to do is move on to a different animal, because that one is not easy to put back together. No, still too. There we go. I heard it snip. There we go. That came off. It's not too bad. Okay. What we're going to do is now is to take the hot glue gun. I'm going to put some of it on here, just a touch, because we want it to stick to the back, but we don't want it to okay, that's going to take a little bit of time left to, okay, there we go. Need to make sure there's a good bit on the back. Now the back will heat up. And then we're going to put the little pony on it. Now, you need to put it so that the back, when it comes together, the pony is in the right direction for the back to come open. Okay, now we're going to press together. Put a little extra thing there. Okay. there's one of them. Now, as you can see, you might have a little bit of the back trying to stick there. So I would open it up, and then you can set it like that so that it doesn't get all the hot glue on the back of there. And then we'll do the next one. And we're going to do a little bit on there. Now the only thing about working with hot glue is that, that's just a touch, you want them to match together, is that it's hot. Well, and you drop things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the back before I get started. All right. You squish the little handle. Hush, Donnie. She always wants to be in the middle of everything. Okay. Put that over there. Where's the other little pony? There he is. Okay. Now, till it dries, it's kind of squishy. Okay, so we got one there, and we got one there, and then we'll need to take some of the hot glue off the side. I'm going to do it with this piece. Okay, now those are the little children's earrings. I'm going to go ahead and unplug the hot glue gun because I'm going to make some fish hook earrings next. And unfortunately this one doesn't have a switch to turn it off. And we're going to leave those over there. Now, I didn't have to use this little pad with the other one, with the necklace, because it was all together and it wasn't going to crawl away. Here is the next one I'm going to build, and I've already, basically, let me take them apart and show you. This is some little hook things, I forget what they're called, but you basically string the beads onto them, and you can have all kinds of beads. I'm going to make different kinds. This one's going to be metal, and I'll make both the earrings. So then we have this one. So, as I string them on there, this is what it turns out to be. And it'll have a little round hook on the bottom, and it'll have a pointed thing at the top. Now, what I do after that is I take the fish hook earring, this is a fish hook earring, if I don't drop it, and I'm going to put it over that. Well, it's like flirting a needle, if I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, now remember the little tools I told you had the little round barrels and they were going to roll over? So what I'm doing now is I held on to the end here, and I'm going to hold it while the fish hook earring is on there, and I'm going to start rolling it over Get it out of that light there. Problem is when y'all can see, I can't always see or move the stuff out of the way. But this is so you can see it closer, and I'm basically going to hold on to these two ends while I'm bending this one. Alright, put that back there. Well, I knocked the fishhook off. For those of you who hate threading needles, this is just like that actually. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this barrel and roll it over. I'm trying to hold the point down at the bottom so that I can bend it. Basically, I'm making a loop, which I keep knocking the fishhook off. Let me bend it a little bit more, and then I'll put the fishhook back on. Okay. All right. I'm holding it at the bottom in that little round piece so that it doesn't come loose down there and I bend it less than it needs to be. And you want that crimp to happen and while it's there, right like that, I've bent it over some, I'm going to use the little crimping tool. Now, can you see what I'm doing there is that I'm putting it on both sides for the crimping. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. If you don't get the thing completely crimped down, your fishhook will fall off. then you'll lose your earrings, and that's not a good thing. Looks like one of these barrels is a little bit high and it keeps stopping it from bending back. But, okay, there we go. Sometimes it takes a little pressure. If it doesn't do like you want it to do, see if you can go get mad at something and then come back and do it. Because it'll give you a bit more strength. Okay. Alright. There's one of them. It shouldn't come off there. Okay. Hopefully we'll have a little bit better luck with this other one. Alright. There's that one. There's the fish hook. And then hold on to it. Okay, well there. Now let me tell you what happened just a minute ago. I had done it so tight I couldn't get it off of there. So what I did was I took the wire cutters and cut the tip off and got another post and did it again. So now we're going to try this one more time, and hopefully I won't get it too tight before I end up losing the fish hook off the end of it. Okay, I'm going to hold it up that way, and hopefully this time will go better. Okay, I'm pinching it over the rounded part while I'm holding it by the fish hook this time so that it doesn't fall out from under. And then you hear Tiny scratching down there. She couldn't figure out what was going on, so she doesn't know why I'm talking. Of course, the child doesn't really know the word stop. Maybe I should try it in a different language, because obviously the word stop isn't in her dictionary. Okay, that gets that a bit. I'm going to do the curling iron. But then, I think I've used every one of them I've got. But then, I'm going to use the pressing ones, or the needle nose plier ones. Okay, I think this time I got it where the fish hook was in the hole. Well, I did that one. Yeah. Okay, so now I have a pair of the fish hook earrings. and I'm going to start on this next set, which is I put a gold one and a bead and a gold bead and a stone bead. And what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to make this one shorter. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wire cutters and cut a bit off of this one. Okay, it went somewhere else. And then take the knobby ones and turn it around. Let's not do that one again. Get the push hook on there. Take that, curl it around. Now, hold it by that part. Okay, got it. Takes a little while to get a hold of the sucker. Okay. Okay, so now that one's done. Let's do the other fish hook. Wire cutters. You need to leave at least enough to bend over. But well, better go check that one because I think it went in the dog's bowl. Okay, the curling one. Alright, folded it over. Get the push hook. Hold it up so that you can see that crease there. Now, if you're having trouble with this, with the pinching and crimping, believe me, it happens to everybody. You just have to keep practicing, like Carnegie Hall. You practice, practice, practice. And then, once you practice, 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 you can get it to where they work. Okay, that one works. Now you've got 2 sets that way, 2 sets that way, and you've got 2 with the flat backs to them. Now with the little girls, they'll have to hold on to the earring like that, open the back, pinch it on their earring, on their ear, and you got it. Now, in order to stand them up so you can see them, I'm going to open up the backs again. There we go. Now let's see if we can put them under this thing so you can see them a little better. Bendy, bendy, bendy. There we go. A little bit of light shadow on them, but there you have 3 sets of earrings. One's with the clip-on, 2 with the fish hook, and 1 repaired necklace. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.